Hello everybody. So because I've been trying to consistently post a video on here, I thought I would do another writing advice video. I did film something, but it got I don't even know where it is at this point. So I'm just gonna refilm it. And I have a bunch of stuff on here. I have about 12 things on here that have worked well for me or worked well for people that I know. And I just want to start this video off by saying, disclaimer, just because this works for me does not mean it worked for you. And if it doesn't work for you, don't come at me and say, oh, this didn't work. I can't believe you said this. It personally works for me. It's worked really well for me. And I'm just suggesting that you try it if you need to find something to help you. If it doesn't work, sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I could just let me know if it doesn't work for you or if it does work for you, and if it doesn't work for you, I could try to help you out and help you find something that does work. Because I love scouring the web for writing advice. And whenever I go to an author event, I always ask what's the best piece of advice, writing advice you've ever gotten. And I've gotten some pretty good stuff, and I actually have some of it included in here. I love asking my favorite authors because they always have really good answers, and they always love that question. So my first one is a pretty obvious one, and it's finish the book that you're writing. I think it was Amy Kaufman, the co-author of Lumine and Jimina, and the Starbound trilogy. She gave this piece of advice when I went to the Jimina tour with her and Jay Kristoff, because you can't edit a blank page. Just get something down, even if it's a little something. You can always fix it. You can always make it better. You can always improve it, but you can't improve something that doesn't exist. Just push yourself. Just write it, even if it's the worst thing you've ever written. Just keep writing it and finish it, and then you can go back and fix it, make it better. All my first drafts are so terrible, let me just tell you. Although I do really like the first draft I'm writing right now, I know as soon as I go and read it back, I will find something I hate about it and I'll completely change it. It always happens every time, and it's bound to happen. Something else. Number 2 is forget your inner editor. Your inner editor is basically just the voice in your head telling you as you write that this is awful. But you just gotta forget it, and you gotta not think about how awful it is, because it probably is awful. It's the first draft. First drafts are always awful for nobody, no matter who it is, even if it's a big author, a little author, anybody, you, me. The first draft is always going to be worse compared to the final product. You have to forget the voice inside your head telling you this is awful, and just write it and just feel good about it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Something that has worked for me is finding a good playlist. I love just having distractions while I write. I love having background noise, and I'm always either listening to music on my Spotify, any of my Spotify playlists, or I'm watching a YouTube video, or I'm watching Netflix, I'm watching a movie, whatever it is. I just love background noise. That's just something I like. This specifically is for music. Find a bunch of songs that just feel like your book, kind of set the tone for what you think your book is, and just listen to it while you write, and it will inspire you. It inspired me. Maybe it will work for you. Maybe it will. Maybe it's something you never heard before. Go try it. See if it works. It worked for me, and I love doing it. I know a lot of authors do that. I, for one, like to listen to just any kind of music. I know a lot of authors prefer to listen to more instrumental stuff because the words and the singing distracts them. Personally, it helps me. And maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. But it's a good thing to try if you need to try something new. Let's see, I'm trying to actually read my handwriting. I don't remember who said this, but after you finish your first draft, rewrite the second draft from the ground up. And something you can do is you can print out your first draft and have it side by side, but don't just copy and paste. Just completely just start rewriting it from scratch, or having it side by side on your screen. That is not something I've done. I think it was something that maybe it was Susan Dennard said. I can't remember. Or maybe it was Victoria Aveyard or Victoria Schwab or somebody. I don't even remember. I think everybody says it. That's not something I like to do personally, but it does work for some people. It does not work for me. I just like to keep the same one document and just constantly change it. I don't like to make multiple documents for one book. It's just a lot to handle and a lot to store. takes up a lot of space on my computer, so I don't like to do that. But if you want to try it, go for it. Number 6, your opening scene is the most important scene. It sets the tone for the entire book, and it's where the reader decides whether or not they want to stop reading or keep reading. Your first few pages can make or break someone's decision to keep reading your book or to put it down. For me, when I'm reading a book, I'll read the first few pages and then I'll set it aside for like an hour or so. And if I can't stop thinking about it, I know I have to keep reading it. But if I just easily forget it and just am uninterested in it, I know it's not something I need to be spending my time on reading. And what I'll do is if I bought the book, I'll just like go donate it to like McKay's. And if it's like a library book, I'll go take it back if I don't like it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. It's your opening scene is like the time to draw in your reader. And that's why when you are trying to find a literary agent, they always ask you to send the first 10 pages because the opening scene in the first few pages is like the make it or break it point. And if they like it, they'll ask for more pages. Number 7, what you want to do is you want to introduce your main character right away. You don't want to cause especially in the first 10 pages, especially if you're querying an agent, you don't want them to not know who the main character is when they read it. You know what I mean? And you really, in my novel that I'm writing right now, which is called The Last Queen of Carrion, I have announced it, I think, on my Instagram, my Tumblr, my Twitter, my Pinterest board, and everywhere. So it's like out there, it's not a secret. It's called The Last Queen of Carrion, as I just said. You get a feel for how my character feels because basically at the start of this novel, she has been sold off by her father to pay off a debt to a foreign king, and she's been given in marriage to this king, so her father doesn't have to pay money for this debt that he owes. And you get a real sense for how she feels initially. Her opinions change, obviously. Come on, it's a YA novel. But you immediately, from the first sentence, get a feel for how much she doesn't like where she is in like this foreign country that she's in. She has not met her newly wedded husband yet, and she just has an entire distaste for the country that she's in, the people that she's around, and just everything. I think the first thing that she mentions is how cold it is and how she doesn't like it. That she doesn't like how cold it is because it's very warm and springy in her country, but here it's very drafty and cold, and she doesn't like that. Something else you want to do is introduce your antagonist right away. You don't actually meet my antagonist until a little bit later in the book. And the antagonist is her father, obviously. There's really nobody else. Because she doesn't like her father, like, at all. And that's made very clear from the get-go. And it's not just because he sold her off. There's 100 other reasons that you learn in the beginning and throughout the book. But you do get to hear him be described by the main character. And you get a feel, and it's very obvious that he's the main character because you see this distaste that she holds for him. She hates him even more than she hates the man that she's never married to, that she's never met. Let's see. I feel like I'm going really, really quick for this. Number 9, no flashbacks in chapter 1. That just like takes away from the chapter because the first chapter is you're supposed to introduce the main idea of your novel and the main character and the main antagonist. You're supposed to be very I'd say more character driven. The first chapter needs to be very character driven. Flashbacks tend to be more plot driven than character driven. And it's just showing you something that happened rather than telling you about this character. Number 10, again, I feel like I'm going through really quick with this. Don't shift points of view within a chapter. It's very confusing to the reader, and I guess it's also pretty confusing to the writer too, personally for me. If I do want to do multiple POVs, which I am doing in this book, although it's not like crisscrossing, it's not like switching back and forth between two people, you'll occasionally get a different POV from this one person, although I don't want to say who it is because it's going to spoil everything. I can't do that. But I never do it in the middle of a chapter ever. I always wait till I just finish the chapter, and then I'll do a separate little piece for that other character. Number 11, let's see. Don't be coy and don't hold back all the secrets. Do like a slow reveal. You don't want to just put everything out in the open the beginning half of the book. You want to slowly reveal little bits and pieces don't be too like secretive about it either. As I said, don't be too coy about it. Don't leave everything to the end or dump everything in the middle. Release little information bits at a time. Basically, what I'm trying to say. And this last tip is something that has worked super well for me in the past, but I'm not actually doing right now. Like really that much. I am doing it occasionally, but I'm not doing a bunch like I used to. Is covering the word count. I use Word to write all my books, and so the word count is in the bottom left hand corner, which is corner screen, which is right here for me, facing the computer. This side for you guys. And I cover it up and I just write for like an hour, because sometimes I feel like just looking at the word count just forces me to like not want to write and just like makes me have writer's block. Occasionally now with this book I haven't been covering it up. It really just depends if I'm feeling it or not. It just, I guess, yeah. I've mentioned it so many times before, and I always give that little piece of advice to people whenever they ask me for writing advice, like over my Instagram. So hopefully, if that's something you need to try, you can try it. If it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, let me know, and I can maybe try to help you come up with another tip to do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My last advice video didn't get like a bunch of views, but it got like more views really quickly. My other videos, the views have trickled in, but that one had like a bunch of views at once and it was like kind of crazy. If you like this video, you can click that red subscribe button. That'd be super cool. Leave me a nice comment down below, or give me a nice thumbs up. That'd be also super cool. Yeah, I'll be back with another writing video hopefully soon. I used to do writing updates on here, but now I mainly do those on my blog and on my Tumblr. My blog is ellenwritesbooks.wordpress.com. I'll leave a link down below for that. Hopefully I remember to. If I don't, call me out for it in the comments, and I will link it for you. I'll put it somewhere. But it's ellenwritesbooks.wordpress.com. And I do mainly writing updates. I'll do an occasional book review. I have a little page dedicated to the Pinterest boards for my current projects. I have one for The Last Queen of Carry On. I have one for the thriller, YA thriller that I'm working on right now, and I have one for this other untitled fantasy that I'm working on. I'm super duper excited about. I recently found it just like in the drafts on my Word docs and stuff. And I just was like reading through it and I was like, this is really good. Oh my god, I want to keep writing this. But all the names were just like, I loved them back then. But then like I went back and I looked at them and I realized how stupid they were. And so I came up with a bunch of all new names that are so much better. And they're actually, if you look on the Pinterest board, I think they're all there. Or maybe it's a different Pinterest board I linked. Oh, I don't remember. I'll go check. But thank you for watching. I feel like I'm getting off topic. I'm going to try to do more writing advice videos as I figure out more things, as I get other authors to tell me more things. I'm actually going to be possibly, most likely going to Yacht Fest this year, which I'm super excited about. And I never really ask authors questions when I'm like in line getting books signed, but I might start doing that, honestly. I kind of want to know everybody's advices for writing and stuff, the best writing advice, because I always ask it at like events, but of course I can't get all the authors from Nashville. They have not released the author list yet. Kind of nervous. Cassandra Clare and like Angie Thomas, Marissa Meyer, they're all doing keynotes. They've only released the keynote speakers, so I'll definitely get to meet them. I'm really excited about possibly getting to meet Cassandra Clare because she is like the very first YA author that I ever read. First YA book that I like ever properly read and like, loved and enjoyed was The Mortal Instruments, and I just got it per chance, like literally by chance. My sister was going to the bookstore and she asked me if there's anything I wanted, and I'd heard about a book called City of Bones, and I was like, hey, if you see it, get it for me. And I think the movie had just come out or is about to come out, so they got me the movie tie-in cover. I don't really know why. And I read it and I loved it, and I just got all the other books. I really got into it. The City of Heavenly Fire just came out. Like I think it either just come out or is about to come out when I got into the series. And I really enjoyed it so far. I'm not too crazy about the show, I'll be honest, and the movie wasn't my favorite, but like, what could you do? The books are just like so cool. And like, I know that if I like met her, I probably couldn't get all my books signed because that would take up so much space. So I'd probably get my favorite book signed, which would probably be City of Bones and probably City of Glass. I love City of Glass, but I have all 4 copies of City of Bones, and I'm obviously gonna get the 10th anniversary edition, obviously. So I don't know which one I'd get signed. I'd probably bring 2. I'd probably bring the original cover, the original paperback cover, and probably the movie tie-in cover, just because the movie tie-in cover is like the first one of her books I ever got, so it's really special. I'd probably also get Clockwork Princess signed to get that back from my friend, because that's my favorite Infernal Devices book. I don't think I get any of the Dark Art Devices books signed, because those are, I like them, but I don't like them as much as the other ones, honestly. I am rambling. Thank you so very much for watching. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for more writing updates and writing advice videos and just writing books and everything that has to do with writing in general. Yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks so much for watching. Yet again, I've said it like 3 times. Have a fantastic rest of your day, or rest of your night, or rest of your afternoon, whatever. And yeah, bye guys. Thanks for watching.